Hey, you. Okay, I'm loving this journey. I'm getting so comfortable with this whole recording thing, and it's getting better. Okay, hold on. Pat myself on the back. Oh, oh, yay, yay. Okay, the thought that I had on my mind today about being your own N of one, about controlling your power. I want to go deeper into that, and I want to talk more about that. Okay, now one of the things that I noticed and the thing that I just thought about while I was relaxing, scrolling, uploading the last video dealing with the motor oil experiments. Now, a while ago, if with the results happened, if I would have experimented a while ago and got the results that I got this time, I would be feeling so down and so fucked up. But because my thought processes are just different now, because I'm seeing things differently now, I can completely separate my emotions away from it. Also, because I actually have plan B in place, right? I didn't just experiment on it and put that completely on the line, although I did put it on the line and now I don't have it anymore. Now it has to go bye-bye. I have another plan, so I'm okay. So that's part of the thing. If you're out there and you kind of jumping from plan to plan, boom, you can learn that. I've learned that it pays to have plan B, to act like plan B don't exist, but to have plan B, right? That's what they say. Plan like you'll live forever, but act as if today is your last day. Okay. Updates on top of the updates. So you can check out the video that I just uploaded about that, the final experiment, final part of the first experiment, not the final experiment because it ain't over. Because we got to work on the next one. So now what I was able to do was connect with some mechanics and get some advice and actually have someone who is excited about helping with the experiments going forward. So the next video that I put up about hemp seed motor oil, maybe you'll get to see a different process, a different part of the experiment, and see someone else working with me. You'll see somebody else in my videos. Okay, fast forward. Today's video, controlling your power. Now, while something was totally unleashed in me, that whole unleashing, it can't be about diet alone. Although diet is very important, right? Because what you eat puts in the nutrients, the things that makes your body function, is the things that give your cells that energy, that power, right? Is what creates you, is what you are made of. All of those elements, those nutrients, the things that's all throughout your body is what you're made of. And those are the things that you need to eat to replenish what you are, what you're made of, right? You need to take those things in. So on a biological level, you can maintain homeostasis and keep growing and maintain optimal health, right? When you put those right things in and keep that balance. Now, with that being said, that's the biology of it. And while that does affect your brain, what you eat affects your brain, what's happening in your gut affects your brain, it can't be that alone. You know why? Because there are people that are eating healthy. There are vegans. There are vegetarians that's eating in ways that is totally healthy for them, but they still have issues with mood. They still have issues controlling that ego. They still have issues in just how they view the world and how they process thought. And the reason why I say they have issues is because their view, their perception, and everything is perception, right? Their perception of things is causing them discomfort in their own life, right? You can see it in their mood swings. You can see it in how angry they get and how little testy they get when someone doesn't act or speak in a way that they want, right? Like you can see these reactions. And why would it be there unless there's something else going on? So that thing has to do with introspection. Like you have to go within yourself. That's why meditation is so important. You have to go within yourself. You have to examine your mind, examine your thought processes, examine your emotions, put all of that under a microscope and honestly ask. You know what I'm saying? Like get the ego out the way, which is a whole nother journey in itself, right? Breaking down the ego. And the more you do that, the better you'll be able to examine yourself outside of yourself, right? Without being so attached to those emotions, because that ego won't let you hold yourself accountable, right? That ego will want you to be prideful, which would then cause you to want to put blame on somebody else, which then leads to you trying to control someone else instead of controlling yourself and controlling your own power. So it's not diet alone. It's not exercise alone. It's not meditation alone, because you can't just, for instance, meditate away diabetes, right? You can't just pray away cancer. It takes all of these things working together. All parts work together, right? So that's why it's important for all parts to be whole, healthy, to make sense, to be operating on a higher level, right? You have to know how to meditate. You have to know what to think about. Now, one of the things that I learned about myself and that I see is common amongst other people just from hearing people talk, right, and asking people certain questions, is what you think about is very, very, very important. It's people out there singing that song, and it is so true, right? Like what you think about is very important. What you take into your mind is very important. What you allow into your consciousness is very important. And that is another power that you have that must be controlled by you, not by anybody else, not by outside source. That is the way that no matter what is going on around you, you are able to stay positive, right? Have a good outlook on things without like toxic positivity, right? Like it's not going around telling people, who's going through horrible shit, just think happy thoughts, right? It's about you examining yourself and like seeing a brighter side for yourself, right? It's about accepting your situation, accepting your limitations, accepting what you're able to do and what you're not able to do, right? Putting all of that in perspective, having a game plan. So everything isn't like all rainbows and sunshine all the time. Everything's not sweet, all the time, but you can still be content. You can still be at peace within yourself, right? One of the things that I learned growing up, one of the things that was always said to me was when you find yourself in the middle of the storm, stand still, right? The eye of the storm is the calmest, but it's the most anxious, right? It's the most worrisome because you're in a constant state of like waiting for the shit to hit the fan. You're like waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for something to sweep you away or to come crashing in, right? You're waiting for something horrible to happen, but it's the calmest part of the storm. So just sit still, be calm, be at peace, go within yourself, meditate, and figure out these things, right? You can listen to other people to get little clues along the way, get ideas on how other people overcame certain situations or got through certain situations. But at the end of the day, you are the only one that can unlock anything within you. You are the only one that can do it. That's also one of the things that I heard from a recovering addict that was a counselor at a rehab center when I was calling, getting information for a loved one. What I was told was, one, they have to do it themselves. If they're not taking the steps to do it themselves, then you are still enabling them no matter how much you're trying to help. So that means you got to have it within you. You have to have the will, the motivation within you to make the changes in your life and within yourself that you need to. Like that's bottom line. You just have to have it in you. You got to want to do it, and then you got to go within. Nobody can make you do it. Nobody can give you the answers, but they can give you tools to help you reach the own answers within yourself, and then you got to unlock it within you. So I am without a car right now, but that is okay, because now I know I have the knowledge about the motor oil, which is leading into the hemp part of Hemp Paradise Farms, right? I know what's coming next. I know what to do next. And I know I'm blessed, right? I know I don't have to worry about nothing. I'm not out putting negative out there, because that's another thing that's very real. Karma is very real, right? What you put out comes back like a boomerang. What goes around comes back around again, right? The whole spiral of things. I'm not constantly putting negative out there, so I don't have to worry about negative coming back to me. I'm okay. I have somebody that's willing to help, that's interested. So the ball is rolling. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait for those next experiments to pop up, to jump off, to happen. But I was only able to get to this place because I took the lessons that was coming my way and I internalized it. I studied myself. I became my own N of one. First instinct was to study other people and what they're doing. Somebody seems successful in a certain thing that I want to be successful in, then you study them. No, that's only going to get you but so far. That can only teach you but so much. That's not going to help you to get to where you need to be. What I learned is that what I had to do and what you have to do, what everybody has to do, is to study yourself. You can look at other people just to get tools, to get an idea, to get a sense of direction, right? Looking at people that are going or that are already successful at the places that you're going, because that's the way you're going, so you can get a sense of direction from that. But the only way you can get there is your own internal GPS, is your own navigation system. The only way you can figure that out and learn how to operate and use that and master that is to conduct your N of one. Is to study yourself, is to sit down with yourself, do introspection, look within yourself, right? Because you can't control anybody else but you. All you can control is what you can control, right? You have the power to control yourself. You have the power to use yourself to manipulate other people that are not conscious of their own power. So in that way, then you can manipulate someone into relinquishing power to you, which is not good, right? That always comes back around in a negative way in the end. And the more you use it against somebody, the more you use it to put negative out there for selfish gain that's not helping, putting any empathic or useful or helpful energy out into the world, the more that's going to come back on you. It may take a little bit longer, but it's going to come back on you in a negative way, right? And then you get stuck in a cycle of placing blame, of mirroring blame onto other people, onto people, places, situations, and things outside of yourself instead of taking accountability. So now you're stuck in a negative loop, right? And that negative loop continues no matter how much money or things, possessions you're able to gain for yourself on your journey. That's why you have millionaires committing suicide. That's why you have wealthy people that are sick. They have all the money in the world to eat right. They're going out, fine, dining, all of that stuff, but they're still getting sick. Their mental health is still declining. They're still miserable in relationships, right? because that's something that goes beyond that, right? You have to look within. It's diet, it's exercise, it's looking within. And the main thing I would say is looking within, because I ain't changed but so much in my diet. I'm still working on being consistent with these healthy routines, right? Yet I've seen this great improvement in myself. Yet I'm feeling this sense of peace like I've never felt before, right? Things are coming at me, situations is happening, negativity is happening that I would have let just hold on to me like a magnet, and it would have weighed me down. But I'm able to sit here and do this video comfortable as hell, able to express myself, right? I'm still sitting here honestly in my mind trying to make sure I hit all the right points. But that's part of the becomings. And that comes with practice. That comes with practice. N of 1. Control your power. Only you can do it. Nobody else can do it for you. Check the description for the link to the journal that's going to help you control your power. Stay tuned for that book. Email me. Keep sending in the emails. Send in the comments. I want to work with you because you're on this journey to becoming also. If you're watching this, you found this video, then that means you're conscious of this, right? You're thinking of this. You're on this journey too. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Pat yourself on the back because you're doing it. Screw anybody else that they ain't got to see it as long as you know, right? What they say, seeds, when you plant the seeds, they start to germinate in the dark. They grow in the dark first. When you first conceive, when you conceive a child, they're growing in the dark first, right? Like ain't nobody got to see it. It's okay. It's all right. As long as you feel it, because everything is internal. Even your own perspective is about your mind, is internal. And other people would try to put that mask on you, would try to put those glasses onto your eyes so that you can see things the way they want you to see it. But you got to control yourself. You have to conduct your own self-studies. N of 1, learn to control your own power. Which one of your powers is your perspective? It's how you see things, how you see the world, right? And how you see it, how you envision it, is what it becomes. It's what your world, what your life becomes. It's how you see it. What do you see for yourself? What do you see for your future? That's why environment is so important. Diet, exercise, meditation, introspection, environment. Images and energy subconsciously seep within you, seeps inside your brain. What you see, your optical nerve is the closest to your brain. Your eyes are the closest organ to your brains. What you see is directly transmitted into your brain, and it shapes your mind. It shapes your consciousness. It shapes the images, the thoughts, ideas that's coming back out of your eyes, right? It's shaping how you see things, your perspective. That's the power behind religion. That's the power behind cultures. That's the power behind school structures and how that's set up, right? That's the power in community and habitat, because it's what you see. It's what you're seeing every day. The subconscious part of your brain that's working is still taking in information. It's still processing. It's still doing things. You're just not conscious of it, which makes it more powerful. It bypasses that surface level stuff and goes deep into your brain. It goes deep into your consciousness, into your mind. The next thing you know, your output is different and you don't understand why. You're thinking things, you're saying things, you're acting in ways that have been shaped by your perspective. Even who you let your kids be around. That's why you don't want your kids to be around anybody. That minds are like Play-Doh, easily shaped. We are all able to be influenced because we're humans, and that's how the human mind works. So environment is important. I love watching TV. I love watching YouTube. I have to be careful of what I watch. When I'm watching something, if I notice, I have to pay attention to myself while I'm watching it. If I'm having different reactions, different triggers, I have to cut it off. First, I have to fight against that. First step is to consciously fight against that, to consciously say no and reverse that in my brain so that it don't seep into my subconscious, right? So I'm not unwittingly accepting something that I don't agree with for myself, for my life. I have to purposely reject that, say no. And then I have to cut it off and then change my thoughts, like actively act to change my thoughts. Sing a song, count sheep, say something random, think of a joke, something, just anything to get my mind off of that thing that I know is programming my brain in a negative way. So that way I stay at peace within myself. So that way I stay calm and let things just kind of flow through me. And in that way I'm able to plan and focus better, right? Because without it, everything else just becomes a distraction. My mind can't get linear focus to get a single thing done that is outside of my mastery, that's outside of what I just do on a regular basis, that I can do it without even thinking about it. Anything that I have to think about and focus on with all of those distractions around is difficult to